You ever been to a Tony Robbins event, Unleash the Power?
I have. Yep.
All right. You remember how that he would say, what I can't remember how he said, but you would make that noise. Whatever that noise is. Tony would, that was what he would do. And he was like, get yours, find yours. And so I go back to that every time before I get on stage. I find my thing. So I have my superhero jump, and I'll do that for a couple of minutes and all that, man. I'm just getting the energy going. So by the time I hit the stage, I'm already ready. I'm ready. So yeah,
you pump yourself up. So you're finding your power. So let me ask you a question. So now, what have you found to be, when you're presenting and going back to connecting with the individuals? Because my issue has always been, there's always going to be that one person that's in the audience, especially when it's a larger audience, that seems to be not paying attention, or that seems to be dozing off, right? They're sleeping. And maybe for me, it's always been like, hey, you're boring the heck out of this entire audience. When in reality, it's just one person, right?
It is, yeah.
And he may have had a bad night or a long night or whatever. How do you get past that mental block there?
Oh, no, that's not a mental. I'm not here for you.
Okay, so it's that easy.
That's right. And, the thing is, everybody, a teaching style is for a particular audience. So even when you're putting together events, you want different teaching styles. Yes, I'm that guy. I'm going to tell the jokes and get people really engaged. And then you'll have maybe another person that's more introvert, but a very deep thinker and will, use the whiteboard and put everything down. Everybody has their own way of learning and teaching styles. So you mix it up. And I just might not be the one for that person. I could totally offend somebody.
That's good.
That's
really good.
So the thing is, I'm going to think of how to put this. There's like an old biblical saying. I guess all sayings in the Bible are old, but there's a story, right?
If someone comes up and says, "Hey, I've got a new biblical saying," you should
watch out.
It's like the guy who's Jim Rohn says, if a guy comes in and tries to sell you new antiques, "Hey, I got these new antiques. You want to buy some?" Then you should. That's a problem.
Right. That's a problem. But it's about lukewarm people. It's like some saying where it's like God doesn't like lukewarm. Either you're hot or you're cold. And that's the way it's going to be with people and just in general. Everybody's not going to resonate with what your vibe is. And that's okay. So I just skip over that person, move on to the next. Now, if the whole audience is asleep, then you've got a problem.
You got an issue there, right?
You got an issue.
All right. So yeah, and I think that's the biggest issue, right? So we try to be everything to everyone. I think we try to connect to everyone. And when I first started speaking from the stage, that was the thing, right? I didn't know that not everyone's going to resonate with you. I didn't know that there's some people that you tune into and some people that are going to tune into you and some people that are going to not get you. And that's okay, right? You just focus on the ones that do dig you.
Be in your own head, man. Yeah. I'm in my own head. And I'll tell you this story, man. The first time I spoke in Japan, freaked me out. Seriously freaked me out because I got my jokes and I get it. Everybody doesn't speak English and they're getting the translation and, so I'm on stage. This is the first time I'm in an Asian country just in general.
Gotcha,
I'm on stage, I'm doing my shtick and the people are sitting there like this the entire time. No.
And now, is this supposed to be funny? Is it supposed to be like a joke?
I've got some zingers there.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
And I'm like, okay, this is not. In my head, I'm just going on. I'm laughing at my own joke then, all right? And they sat stoic as possible, right? And then at the end, clap, 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 clap. I'm like, okay, I will never be back here. They will never ask me.
Right.
I go in the hallway and I get swarmed. Oh, that was so good. Mr. Lawson, that was so good. And all that stuff, bowing. And I'm like, what the hell? And then realize it's cultural.
Yeah.
Culturally, they're just not going to be all that while you're on stage. It was so weird. But that's one of those things, too, where you got to be sometimes in your own head because the content you're delivering is going to help somebody.
Yeah, especially if you've done it before and you're just in front of a different audience. I remember being out in Thailand, man, and speaking out there for the first time. It was about 5,000 people out there. And I brought my wife and I brought the kids with us, and they were up front, and I introduced them. And the same, it was very stoic. I mean, nothing. And then, you know, I kind of get, if I see that the crowd is not doing the right thing, then at the time I would start getting nervous.
Right.
So I don't know what the hell made me think of this, but I'm like, hey, my name is Ty and I'm in Thailand. And they thought that was the funniest thing ever. Like, I had the translator in my ear and everything else. And, you know, they just thought it was insane. And from there, it just took off. Like, I had their attention at that point. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, that was a dad joke right there. Like, that was the corniest joke ever, Thai in Thailand, but they loved it.